This is our ebook, our teacher's ebook. And to use this, it's completely offline. When we say offline, you don't need internet. You don't have to share a bandwidth with teachers in the school. Complete confident, and I say this is the teacher's best friend. It's the teacher assistant. This is like Wheels to Henry Ford ebook to teachers. So everything you have in the teacher's book is here. You can download it in your computer at home. You can download it in your school computer. All you need is a projector, a computer, and a wireless mouse. But if you do have an interactive board, we use the tools of the software. You don't even have to learn how to use the tools of your interactive board. Okay, so I'm going to open up the software. So I'm going to open it up here. So here's the whole book. So we're going to take a module, and I've chosen the 10th year book because I think it's amazing how this book has been put together. So we're going to start. So we have the flipped classroom video. So students will go home, aulas divertidas. They're going to watch the video before class. So when they come into class, they know what the teacher is going to talk about, freeing up teaching time for more communicative exercises, for peer work, giving the teachers more time to work with the students. So I'll click on the bubble. It tells you watch the video. So this is what he's going to do at home. He's going to watch that. So we're going to click on the video, and you're going to watch a little bit of the video here. Click on the video there, and here it goes. There, and here it goes.
Life online. Okay, let's all agree that social media brings people together. Only, is that really true? I'm not 100% sure. In fact, I'd like to suggest that social media has its drawbacks as well as its advantages.
If we want to take off we'll click on this icon.
We'll click on this
icon. We'll no longer see the subtitles.
And they will no longer see the subtitles.
Let me start by telling you a true story. I know it's true because it happened to me just last year.
Okay, so the
My
students watch the
family
video.
are originally...
Okay, that was their homework. So when they come to class, we're going to start our lesson. We're going to do a reading lesson. So we're going to do a lead-in. And what we've tried to do is expose the students to as much listening practice as possible without having to do a listening lesson. So within a reading lesson, a grammar lesson, a writing lesson, you have lots of listening. So it's like having an assistant native teacher working with you in class. So if we click here, they can listen to it.
I use email, video chat, and text messages to keep in touch with my friends.
Okay, so we have our
My
text. Okay, from our text, they can listen to the text in the karaoke format. Okay, we can.
Best friend M. She's like a sister to me.
In a
We've been
karaoke
keeping
format.
in touch over the internet,
Okay,
though,
so we'll pause
and
it
it's
here.
been a lifesaver.
Okay,
We
what
phone,
happens
we
here
text, and we
is that
FaceTime each other day
the video,
and night.
okay,
It might not be as
so
good
we
as
can turn
face-to-face
into
contact,
reading
but we
video.
chat about everything.
So what you saw here, we'll see here.
My social media social life.
From here, we can do the comprehension exercises. So we can check the words from here. So we did face-to-face. So it comes out defined. We can see the words contextualized here. We go back. We do the comprehension. We can do drag and drop here. If we click here, you'll see where the answer came. Okay, more reading comprehension. They can guess at the answer by clicking on the question. It will underline where the answer came from. Okay, match the words in bold with the text. So boring, we can look at it. Dull. Once again, we can click here and all the answers will appear. As I had mentioned before, completely offline, easy as 1, 2, 3. Go to the next exercise, answer the following questions. Here, Charlotte would prefer to speak English face to face. If we go back here, it's going in underline where we got the answer. So it brings us to the most important part, critical thinking. They're going to take what they've learned and they're going to take it one step above and bring it to themselves. So you can do suggested answer. They can listen.
I think seeing my friends face to face is better than using social media.
Okay, if you have to translate any word, translator, you can show them the position of the word. They can listen to the word. Okay, and now they're going to do a critical thinking. We can give them another example, and they can listen to this example.
I've got lots of online friends. Some of them, though, I've never met. Perhaps they are my friends' friends.
Okay, so that's how the rating spread goes. Let's go back. Let's look at the grammar spread there. Once again, flip classroom, aula invertida. They can watch the video. Sorry about that. I clicked on the wrong button. And here's the video. So we have the grammar explanation. Okay.
Present simple. Affirmative. I write a blog in my free time. Sarah talks to her friends every day.
But you can show them, instead of the grammar, you can explain the explicit grammar. So you have either or here. Okay, from here, we're going to do comprehension. So they're going to look at, okay, I'm studying, is that the present simple or present continuous? So the student says, oh, that's a present continuous. Correct. Beats, present continuous. No, it's not. It's the present simple. And it will, you can do it that way, or you could just select all the answers right there. Next exercise, same thing here. They're going to have to choose in context between the present simple or present continuous. No. And if you click on the question, it will explain the rule on top. Okay, same here, same idea. I'm sure you'll all be able to get a gist of that. Okay, so we go one step forward, more comprehensive, more complex grammar questions. Same idea, click there, and they will see all the answers. Okay, so that brings us to the second part of the grammar. All there, we have exam tips. So brings us to the most important part where they're going to see the exam. Keyword sentence transformations. And like I had mentioned previously, they're not only doing the grammar exercises, but they're also going to listen to them.
Brian rarely uses video conferencing to contact his friends.
Okay, so they can understand the intonation when doing it. And to make class fun, we can do little grammar games. So we can play, there are retro games. So recycle the grammar here. Okay, we'll go to the next exercise. Now we're going to produce something. They're going to write about their daily routine using the grammar structures we've taught them. We can give them an example. And once again, if we play this right now, they will listen to it. So they're even in different lessons, they're constantly listening to a native speaker. So we finished our grammar lesson. We're going to go back. Same idea works with the vocabulary. They're going to practice vocabulary. They're going to associate vlogging. We'll try it here. If not, we'll put the correct answer. We can play a game based on the vocabulary we played. So facial expressions. Oh, vlogging. So it's all up to you. Okay, same exercise, same day. We're teaching them vocabulary. We're going to teach them to categorize. They're going to do it in their notebook. We're going to click here and ask them, okay, verbal communication. So what is it? No, I is non-contact. Video call would be verbal. Or if we want to just put up all the answers, we click on the top icon and all the answers appear. We go to the next exercise, same here. Which of ways of communications below you use the most? What for? Discuss with your partner. Okay, so we're going to take it and we're going to invert the exercise here. And we're going to continue here. Same idea, we're going to contextualize. And basically, they're going to answer, or you're going to simply put the answers one by one. Maximizing your time class and making it more dynamic, more engaging for the student, easy for the teacher. So basically, the teacher doesn't have to be constantly writing on the board with their back face to the class. When the square becomes dark gray, that means we've completed all the exercises on that page. So we'll go back, we'll do a listening exercise, very well structured. We'll give them tips to look out for when doing a listening so they're ready when it comes to exam time. So it says read the statements A, B, find the key words, underline the key words right there. At the same time, read the text, pay attention to the underlined words, which speaker does it match. So we're going to guide them correctly through the speaking practice. From there, we're going to go back and they're going to have to associate who says what. Okay, so we'll say Simone, we'll try here. No, it's not Simone. So they will have done the listening right here.
Simone. 2 years ago, my English wasn't very good.
They will do the comprehension. You can show them the tape script if you want to. But when we're correcting, we don't have to listen to the whole listening. We click on the sound and it'll give us the excerpt where the answer came from. So looking forward, they didn't use looking forward in the listening, but saying was expecting to. So we're teaching that when you're doing a listening, they're not going to use the exact words, but they're going to look for synonyms in this case. Okay, so you can listen to that.
I uploaded a few videos from my London experience, which you can see on my webpage. And I really can't wait for my next...
There, we're going to do comprehension based on the text there. So we're recycling. We're not only teaching them listening skills, but we're going back and we're teaching reading comprehension. Because with the Digi Up series, it allows for flexibility. What does that mean? You don't have to do the book cover to cover. Obviously, you wouldn't have time to. But even if you choose one lesson, we're always careful that we go back and recycle other skills that might have appeared in another lesson. Okay, same idea here. You can select where you got the answer. Critical thinking, it's up to them. They're going to have to produce something. We always give them an example. They can listen to the example, so they're constantly listening to a native speaker speaking. Great box. We finished all the exercises on the page and we move on. Okay, so that's the listening. From there, we go into the intercultural competence. Okay, obviously, interculturalidad, ciudadanía. We're going to cross-check, and I'm going to focus on this lesson because it's something that's very important that's happening in our society today, especially with media. So I'm going to define what is multiculturalism. Right? So here we're going to do a lead-in. I can give them suggestions. They can listen to my suggestions, right? So we're going to talk about multiculturalism, the difference in the way they dress, how they celebrate, etc. So students are aware. Any words you might not understand, you can go to the translator and translate them for them, okay? We go to the next. So we're going to look at the graph. We're going to talk about the graph a bit, okay? From here, we're going to do the listening, reading. So they're going to follow.
Currently, approximately 7...
And as you can see, it's in a karaoke format. From here, they can go and watch. If we look here, let me just go back here. And we can watch the video. So everything that's in the reading comprehension appears in the video with word sound association. So you're not doing the reading once, you're doing the reading, the listening, and then they're going to go back and they're going to do the reading association with images. And at the same time, you've clicked on the important words in the text and they were able to see a picture associating with that word. They see the meaning as it appears in a dictionary and the contextualization. So everything you see in the video is exactly the reading text. So we've cut pasted the words, we associate it to images and words, and the student is not only seeing the text once, but he will be seeing it several times, and so much easier for him to retain vocabulary. So as you saw the video, So the video is the comprehension directly. So you see all the words that appear in the comprehension, you see them appear in the video. Okay, so student is exposed to the comprehension not only in one way through reading, but reading and listening, and in a third way through video. Okay, from here we do comprehension. We can go back, check these words. We click on the word. Like I mentioned, the image with the definition appears, etc. We can also do it through that way. So you have either way you choose. They're going to do word association, opposites, synonyms. They're going to continue here. We're going to teach them words that are similar within this contract. And this is very important because we deal with this today in Portugal. So they're going to learn about immigrate.
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 Emigrate.
And migrate.
Migrate.
And migrate. As you can see, sounds similar. They're going to see how they're used in context differently and how they can be easily confused. Okay, from here, we're going to take a quote. I'm not going to let you, it talks about language and culture are the frameworks through which humans experience, communicate, and understand reality. So we're going to teach them inserts of quotes throughout the book to increase their cultural level. Okay, now it's up to them. They're going to do research online. They're going to collect information about ethnic groups in Portugal and how many people from other nationalities live in our country. So we're going to use that. So we've guided them step by step to doing this project. Now they're going to use their digital tools to help them put a project together. Okay, and that's basically what the intercultural competence deals with. And we go to the last spread I'm going to choose here is the writing. And I love the writing because the writing is structured in such a way that it will guide the student, making it so easy for the teacher and so much easier for the student to follow. So we're going to give them always a model. Okay, remember we taught present simple versus the present continuous. Even if you chose not to do that grammar lesson, it appears here. Okay, so we're not only giving them a model, but at the same time, we're recycling the grammar. So even if you taught the grammar, you can recycle it here. Or if you skip the grammar, you can present the grammar here through the writing lesson. From here, we always, when we have a piece of writing, we always give them a writing bank so they can look and we'll say, when writing a friendly email letters, we use informal style. So we give them examples of informal styles, everyday vocabulary, colloquial expressions they should be using informal styles. We use phrasal verbs in informal styles and short verbs. So if we click here, everyday vocabulary, they can see it. The blue line, omission of pronouns, they can see it. So that when they're writing, they know exactly what they have to write and what is required in their writing. Okay, from here, we take it one step forward. So we're going to say, to avoid repetition, there's other ways of saying the same thing. So it was a great pleasure. Maybe we'll try, I was so happy. Or it is excellent. Instead of it is excellent, we can probably say it's fantastic. So we're learning, we're teaching them, we're increasing their lexical level. Okay, we take it one step forward and we're going to go back and recycle vocabulary. Vocabulary they saw in the model composition. So we talk about height. We'll review short and tall, which they should have learned. And we're going to talk about a medium height, which they saw in the text. And we go back and see it. So once again, it's like we're teaching how to write, but at the same time, we're within the same lesson, we're going back and we're teaching a vocabulary. That gives us the flexibility to be able to pick and choose the lessons we want to teach. Okay, same here. So we're talking about adjectives. If we correct here, all the answers appear, and we always give them exam tips. So what to be careful for when doing this. One very important thing that we have to teach our students, and that happens a lot, not only in English, but in other subjects, is students don't understand the rubrics. So we're very careful in our Digi Up series that the students are able to analyze the rubrics. So you have a rubric here. We're going to say, please, you have to read the rubric and understand it. So we're going to do rubric analysis. So what are you going to write? Who are you going to write about? Okay, I'm going to write an email to my pen friend about physical appearance, my personality. And if we click on the question mark, it will underline where I got the answer. How many words should your piece of writing be? And they are aware. So we're teaching them rubric analysis. So when they get to an exam situation, they know they have to read the rubric carefully, see if it's one part or two part, and make sure they answer the rubric appropriately in order for them to get the full marks. Okay, from there, they're ready to write their composition. But for them to write, we've given them a model. We have to give them a plan. Once again, we have the writing bank that appeared in the model, reminding them how to use everyday vocabulary, colloquial expressions, phrasal verbs, short verbs, and at the same time, I'm going to give them an example. This is my example.
Hi, Susie. It was fantastic to get your email. My name's Philippe, and I'm 16 years old. I live in Lisbon, in Portugal, with my mother, my stepdad, my brother.
Okay, so not only did you give an example, they listened to the example. So within a writing lesson, they're listening constantly to a native speaker besides yourself. So they're being acquainted and familiarized with different pronunciations at the same time, not just the pronunciation of the teacher. Okay, we finished that, and we have a cross-check to make sure that they have covered all the points. And basically, that's how the writing works. So much easier projecting this in front of your class while you're able to go along the desks and helping the students and not have to write all the time on the board with your backs faced to your students. And everyone can follow. Okay, so that takes us back, and I basically went through the general working of the model. We have our global citizens, okay, and I'm going to talk about global citizens because it's very important, because this book cross-checks aprendizagens essenciais and student profile and cidadania. So, global citizens teaches students how to work with the internet, how to research, and at the same time, we're giving them values. So, from what I've taught you up until now, or showed you, I should say, you'll be able to understand. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to talk about interculturally. We're going to talk about empathy. We mentioned interculturalism and how we can be empathetic with different cultures. Okay, we can read.
Well, there are several ways.
Karaoke format, just like the other. Or the reading turns into a video.
I know how you feel. Showing empathy involves being able to recognize, understand, and share another person's point of view, thoughts, and feelings. Learning empathy, especially intercultural empathy, is an important life skill that everyone should try to develop. How can we do this? Well, there are several ways. Learn about other cultures. This is crucial for developing intercultural empathy. We can use books or the internet, but the best way is to talk directly to someone from another culture and ask them to share their knowledge and experiences with us.
Okay, from there, we have a comprehension, drag and drop, or we can select the answer, click on the question mark, the answer is justified. Okay, we can do listening here. We're going to give them different types of examples about schooling environment and empathy, how to deal with the different situations. They can listen to students that were involved in these situations, so they're practicing their listening skills at the same time. Now, How would you show empathy? What would you say in the situation? We can give them our example, okay? And then they can do pair work and they can do it themselves. Okay, so what has happened here? I have given them content. From this content, which cross-tags with the student profile, aprendizagens essenciais, cidadania, I can take it one step forward and we can make a debate out of this. So I'm going to teach them what a debate is. Okay, and once again, I'll teach them the tips of the debates, what is emotion. Okay, so the various types of debates you can have, what is a main argument, what is a supporting argument. Okay, from there, we can look at different excerpts of main arguments and support arguments. They can listen to it.
From our point of view, social media can affect teens' self-esteem. For instance, there is a lot of online bullying and trolling on social media.
This is well
This can make
presented.
teens
This is
lose their
support,
self-confidence
support.
and in
So we're
extreme
gonna give them
cases can make them
examples
depressed.
beforehand. Okay, from there, we can go on, continue here. Now we're going to listen to presenting supporting arguments. We're going to give them the flow that they need. And from here, they're going to present their debate. And we always give them an example. Okay, they can listen to it, teacher's example, and from here, the square is black, and they're ready to debate. Okay, and that is how the module works. The workbook, completely interactive. For every reading, grammar, vocabulary, listening, you have reinforcement. So you did grammar, present simple, present continuous. They can do reinforcement exercises. The beauty of this is they have the explanations in Portuguese for self-study at home. All done for them. And so, as I mentioned, for every grammar, reading, listening, you have reinforcement exercises which they can do at home. All digital. You get to the class, project the answers, and the students correct. Students have difficulty, you have more time to deal with them on an individual basis, especially with large classrooms that we have. Okay, and that is basically what the workbook. We have the extensive reader. We've chosen The Man in the Iron Mask. Works the same. We take excerpts from the reading. Okay, we do comprehension. Click on the question mark. I'll understand. So we have pre, and after reading activities, all in the adapted version of the reader. All digital. We go back home. We have games. So we've taken the content in the module and through a trivia game,
Red, the English language. Who used the phrase cold fish first? A. William Shakespeare. B. Miguel de Cervantes.
Sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to test them on what they have learned. Okay, we go back, making classes so much more interesting. The teacher can participate in the game also. We have all the videos allocated. So we did types of arts. We have videos.
Types of art. Think art is only found in boring art galleries or on the walls of rich people's houses? Then think again, because art comes in lots of different forms, many of which we experience every day. Let's start with an art form that you might not think is art: architecture. Architecture is all about the design and construction, not just of buildings to live and work in, but buildings that can be admired. These works of art are all around you in your town or city and can be admired.
Okay, all there for you. Okay, from there, like I said, because this book allows for flexibility, say you decide to skip a grammar lesson, but further on you decide, no, maybe I have to reteach the present simple, present continuous. Rather than having to go to the beginning of the book, we put all the videos all in one section, and you can do order of say.
Order of adjectives. There was a lovely big white marble statue on display. It was amazing. I liked the old round medieval shield more. When there are two or more...
Okay, so for our Digi Up series, because it's based on formative assessment and summative assessment, Project Maya, so every time we do a lesson, we have a recommended formative assessment. We've created a whole bank of formative assessment tools, and most of which are digital. So take a look at the quiz, for example. So we did a reading. So we can do a quiz based on the grammar, which is present simple versus present continuous. Okay, you can, instead of taking it home and correcting yourself, which sometimes logistically it's almost impossible, you can say, okay, we're going to do a quiz, pass it to your colleague on the right, the colleague is going to correct, you put the answers, and you get instant feedback. Okay? Or they correct their own quiz and give their own mark and give feedback to see if they understood or not. So we have all the suggested tools. They're all digital, which we can project. Same with the tests. We've created tests. If you choose to use our tests in our writing bank, in our test bank, okay, you're doing comprehension. The test becomes interactive. When you're correcting the tests, they can see where they got the answers. Okay, same as a reading at the beginning. Okay, we go back, go home. We have listening tests, same thing, all there for you. You do the listening with them.
Welcome to the
correct it. When you correct it, correct, and they can see.
It's also
in the
called
excerpt,
digital art or multimedia art.
Again.
Andy Warhol was an early pioneer of digital art in the form of video.
Show them the tape script at the end so they understand where they got the answer. Okay, that's there for you to use also. We go home. Now speaking, it's important that we do speaking with our students, and for that we need speaking cards. So we've created digital speaking cards, and we know in terms of logistics, we just can't ask the whole class to go outside while we're oraling two at a time. But we can teach them oral skills or oral practicing. We can project the flashcard on the board. We can guide them, right? And we'll pick two. In two, we'll do one speaking exercise, and then we can change the image and choose another two. So within the class, they're doing speaking, and maybe we take advantage, and the other students can peer assess their speaking. So we're linking both together, and it's all projected on the board. Can't get better than that. Fantastic. Okay, so we go back home, and we have the word list, all the words that appear. You can see the words by module, by letter, by word search. And if there's certain words that they should learn, you can identify the words.
A piece of cake.
Paperclip. It's there for
Academic year.
See the translation.
Academic year.
Pronunciation. Okay. And we close that. So that is basically our teacher's ebook. So easy. Like I mentioned before, completely offline. You don't even have to bring a book to class. All you have to have is this in your computer. Everything that is in your teacher's book is in the software. Easy to follow. And even for those digital schools, all the student has to have is a flip book in front of them, and you're projecting the whole book in front of the class. Easy. So this makes teaching so much easier. And if we have to go back online, which hopefully that's not going to happen, it will be so much easier teaching on your platforms using this digital software because it's all done for you. As I mentioned before, it's the teacher's best friend, their partner in class. And you don't depend on the internet. Completely offline. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Well, that is basically how our ebook works. And what I showed you in the 10th ano applies to the 7th ano. And obviously, you can link exercises from the ebook to Sala Digital as I had shown you before. So, before I sign off, I'd like to say goodbye and thank you for assisting our webinar. I want to wish you a great weekend because tomorrow's a holiday, so we're going to thoroughly enjoy it. And if you want to download the sample I showed you, please go to www.digigup.pt or going to Leirilivro and download the software. Play with it. See how good it is. When you download it, when you open it, all you have to click is on Aplicação and there's your software. What you saw with me right now is exactly what will appear on your computer. And it will make your life easier. You will have so much more time to do speaking in class, to do peer work activities, group work activities, all the things we normally don't have time to do in project work. All done for you. Pick and choose. No books. It's totally digital. And you're not dependent on anything unless the power of your computer goes off. That's it. And for me, I'd like to wish you, once again, a continuation of a weird and wacky year and a great year next year, teaching year. For me, goodbye.